Hey, listen, you take somebody great and you put them around mediocre people, their greatness is going to go away. They're going to become mediocre. You take somebody mediocre and surround them around great people, they become great. You are who you hang around. You are what you do. You are your habits. And anybody who tell you otherwise is lying. I didn't become great until I surrounded myself around great people. I didn't work hard until I surrounded myself around people that work hard. Everybody that was okay with being mediocre and not working hard and sitting down and playing the game and talking about other people and doing all this kind of other stuff, I conformed to that when I was around them. When I hung around the opposite people, I don't tolerate the same things I did when I was around those mediocre people. Great people don't talk about other people. Great people don't make excuses. Great people be great every single day in and day out, no matter how they feeling, no matter what's going on in life, because their only goal is to chase greatness and to be great. So listen, man, surround yourself around great people. Surround yourself around people who make good decisions, people with good habits, people with a good head on their shoulders, because even if you don't have that, hanging around them, you will develop that. Remember that.
Message. Really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail. More importantly, you saw the clip. You got to be careful who you hang around, but more so, it's not really their fault. See, greatness, you can't be great and mediocre at the same time. But like the brother was saying, if you consider yourself going to a path of doing great things and you surround yourself with mediocre people, he right. You're gonna be mediocre because you have to be a certain type of person, a certain type of leader as a human being to transform your mediocre friends or family into what you're trying to be. Because everybody's not gonna go that route, right? But the thing is, some people just don't want to admit that they like the idea of being, let's just say, the best version of themselves. They like the idea of it, but they don't necessarily like the work that it takes. So what happens is you don't really get around people who are striving to be better because they're gonna not necessarily hold you accountable, but they're gonna push you. Like, hey man, this is what you want, let's go. And you see so many people like they don't like being pushed. They want greatness on their terms, at their pace, on their timetable. And that's not actually how it goes. Because for most people, the window of opportunity passes. I was gonna do it. I'm gonna get around to it. I'm gonna get around to it. I'm hanging out with them. We having a good time. But I got time. I'm gonna get around to it. And then you look up, and you're like, "Yo, oh snap! I might have like a year and a half to be great. Oh, what am I supposed to do?" And then by that time, people quit because like, I can't do this. Cut it out, my dog. So people quit, and then when you see people surround themselves with great people, there's sometimes a healthy competition, but a healthy pushing. Like, you might be great in this thing, and I'm great in that thing, and I just seen you do great things in this thing, and we're not doing the same things. But okay, let me see if I could reach that level of greatness in my thing. You get what I'm saying? And it's very achievable. It's very possible, right? So now you get to this thing where now you're dealing with people who, for the most part, you want to blame your mediocrity on them because you would rather be a big fish in a small pond, which means you know you would rather be the most popular or the most well known or the most likely to succeed in a group of like 4 or 5 people instead of just getting out into the world and seeing if you're able to succeed against way more competition. And a lot of times people will rather I'm the yes, I'm smart because I feel like my 4 or 5 friends are dumber than me. So I'm the smartest person around because at least I'm smarter than them. But being smarter than a bunch of people, a bunch of dummies, and I might be extreme by saying that, being smarter than a bunch of dummies ain't really an accomplishment. So you find yourself at a point where you get jealous of people who going on a path of greatness, you're envious, but at the same time, you start to become angry at yourself. But because you're angry at yourself, um, you really won't get at you like in some weird way you want other people to. Like what I mean by that is sometimes you hang around mediocre people because they don't get on you, and you run from people trying to be the best version of themselves because they're going to hold you accountable. And then you want the mediocre people to hold you accountable, and it's like but and then you want the people working their butt off to take you as you are. And it's like that's not how it go. You moving backwards. So at some point, the question is, are you going to separate yourself? And a lot of people don't. And you may need people to compete with, or you might just be competing against yourself. But there has to be a knowledge of the direction you're going in, you know. And that's another issue, that when you cling to mediocrity, there are no goals. There is no thing that needs to be achieved. There is nothing. It's just like, I got tomorrow, I got tomorrow, I got tomorrow. And then 5, 10, 20 years go by, and there's no more tomorrows because you realize you just wasted it. And then there's the whole other thing where and I've dealt with people in this where some people want greatness to come to them. And you can push a person, excuse me, you can push a person to greatness and they'll push back at you like this. No, don't push me. You can pull a person to greatness and then they'll pull back like, mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? So if you push them, they fighting you. If you pull them, they fighting you. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just leave you here and I'm gonna leave. And then because they spent so much effort and energy fighting, going forward to greatness, that they just stay right there. And then when you leave them, there's nothing left. And from my life experience, man, it becomes an issue where a lot of y'all don't deal with the most important thing. And the most important thing is you can't say that you're this if you never attempt to be this. So there's a lot of people who can tell you, man, I was good, I was great at that, but they didn't want to tell you they really didn't want to get active with it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be great in the locker room. I wanted to be great at practice, but I didn't want to be great in the game, but everybody know I'm great. No, they don't. You're lying to yourself. I won't be great in the house, and everybody in the house know I'm great, but you know, that's good enough for me. But that's not true. I want to be great with my friend circle, and they know I'm great, so that's all that matters. And it's like, no, that's just the excuse you tell yourself. And the reason I say it in that manner is because you realize a lot of what makes people great is their ability to keep going forward. That's it. They got knocked down so many times they can't even count. But they got up so many times they can't count that either. You know, they've been great on so many occasions, but they've been terrible at so many occasions that taught them how to be better. Doesn't matter. Like your greatness is gonna come from the failures. And if you scared to fail, you'll never be great. And people who are mediocre, they're afraid to fail, so they never try. So, you know, I didn't give 100%, so I know in my heart I'm a whole lot better than that. But the reason you ain't give 100% because you don't think you that good no way, and you ain't trying to be that good. So sometimes the issue becomes stop lying about wanting to be great because the people you hang around and the things you do let you know you want to be mediocre. And there's some mediocre people that ride on the coattails of great people. But even those great people to tell you like, hey man, I'm tired of carrying y'all. Because there are people in the world who want you to be great because they just want to, live off of your greatness. And that drains a person. And people don't care that they drain people like that. But that's all I'm gonna say about this. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
What's going on? Talk to me. I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off.